Hey guys, and welcome to this video. So today I'm going to be testing out, you may have guessed from my appearance, this brand new foundation by L'Oreal. It's called their Infallible Total Cover Foundation. So a lot of you guys know that my all-time favorite foundation, Holy Grail, Ride or Die foundation is this L'Oreal Infallible Pro Matte. So when they came out with the Pro Glow, I passed on it because I'm oily. So the last thing that I want to do is add glow to my skin because I already have that problem. But when they came out with this total cover, I thought I would give it a shot because I do love this range so much. So the claims for this foundation are that it is a natural finish, so between matte and radiant. The wear time is 24 hours, coverage is high complete, and texture is air light. So the applicator on this is just a twist off top with a squeeze tube, and it does come out like a moussey kind of consistency. I purchased this shade 305, because it's called Natural Beige, and I have the Infallible Pro Matte in the shade Natural Beige, even though it's called 105 in the range. It's very confusing because all the numbers are different, but the shade titles are the same, so I went with the shade title. But when I put them side by side, the Pro Matte one was definitely more of a yellow undertone and a little bit of a lighter shade, whereas the Infallible Total Cover was a lot more neutral and a little bit darker. So I'm going to go in without a primer for it to be a fair test, and on one side of my face I'm going to use this Morphe M439 brush, and then on the other side I'm going to use the Real Techniques Miracle Sponge so we can kind of see which application is better. Okay, so let's go ahead and apply. I'm so excited. Looks like a good shade match for me. Okay, so that's this side done, just one layer. It's definitely smoothed out my complexion and evened out my skin tone. I do see a few blemishes poking through that aren't fully covered, and there's a little bit of clinging around my nose, and I'm oily skinned, so that's kind of surprising. Overall, it did a good job of evening out my skin tone. I would say it's medium to full coverage, leaning towards medium when used with the brush. So I'm going to go ahead and do the other side with the Real Techniques Miracle Sponge and let you guys know what I think. Okay, so that's this side of my face complete using the Miracle Sponge, and hands down, I like the application with the sponge so much better. I don't have any of the dry patch around my nose. Everything just looks flawless and healthy. Again, I would say it looks more like a medium coverage, not a full coverage, but it's evened out my skin tone and left like a little bit of a healthy glow, but not looking shiny at all. So it's not drying matte. Like the Pro Matte immediately dries matte and your face kind of feels velvety right after application. This doesn't feel like it's drying matte. It feels like it's gonna leave me with more of a natural finish like it claims. So I'm gonna go ahead and finish the rest of my makeup and I'll be right back. So I just finished the rest of my makeup. I just did a natural look. I'm about to go Christmas shopping, so nothing too exciting. I did put a little bit of powder to set my concealer and a tiny bit, just a really light dusting around my T-zone, because it does say that it's a natural finish, not a matte finish. And I'm oily, so this is kind of how I would treat any foundation, would be to lightly dust some setting powder in the places where I get the most oily. So to give it a fair chance, I did do a little bit of powdering. And the contour that I put on is a powder contour. So there is a little bit of powder around my face to help the foundation stay throughout the day. So as of right now, everything's looking good, except for on the side where I used the brush, there's a little bit of cakiness around my nose already. But other than that, it looks really healthy and natural. Definitely not full coverage, but it's the kind of coverage that I like. It's kind of a medium coverage. So I'm gonna head out and go Christmas shopping, and I will check back in with you guys later to let you know how it holds up. So it's been about 8 hours since I applied this foundation, and I wanted to go ahead and check in with you. Clearly I'm winding down and putting my comfy clothes on, about to go watch Netflix, so I wanted to give you guys an update on how this foundation wore throughout the day. So as I'm sure you guys can see in this video, it started to get really oily within the last couple of hours. Around my nose is really shiny, on my chin, and then my forehead forehead is like shining. So I'm gonna go ahead and insert a picture with the flash, and you guys can see my forehead is like a little lighthouse. So everywhere where I've gotten oily, the foundation has started to break up a little bit. On my chin, around my nose, on the tip of my nose, it rubbed off. And it's kind of starting to cake up in the crevice of my nose on both sides. I'm gonna go ahead and revisit all of the claims and let you guys know which ones I think are true and which ones I think are not so true. So I do agree with the claim that this has a natural finish. This to me is like if the Pro Matte and Pro Glow had a baby, it would be this foundation. It's somewhere between dewy and matte, and I know on me it looks straight up dewy, but keep in mind I am very oily, and on someone with normal skin I think this would have a really natural, beautiful finish, and it would stay like that throughout the day. The 24-hour wear, I don't agree with that. I don't know who wears their foundation for 24 hours, but I've been wearing this for 8 hours and it's starting to break up around my T-zone area. So especially if you're oily, I wouldn't count on this lasting for 24 hours. That said, if I wasn't reviewing this product, I probably would have blotted throughout the day or repowdered or touched up, and that would have prolonged the wear time. But just this on its own with a tiny bit of powder, it definitely didn't last 24 hours, at least on oily skin. And for the full coverage claim, like I said when I was applying it, I think this is actually closer to a medium coverage. So if you're looking for something with full coverage, this may not be the foundation for you. I actually prefer foundations with a medium coverage. I like to have a little bit of my skin showing through, but this foundation is called Total Cover, and I don't think that it is. I actually think that the Pro Matte foundation is a fuller coverage than this one. And then the last claim is that it has an airlight texture, and I would agree with that. It had a moussey kind of consistency, and when I was putting it on, it didn't feel heavy, and then throughout the day, it didn't really feel like I was wearing a whole lot of foundations. So I think that's definitely a fair claim. So overall, I think this is a really nice foundation, but I don't think it lives up to all of its claims. If you have oily skin, keep in mind that you're probably gonna have to blot or repowder throughout the day if you wear this foundation. With dry skin, I would proceed with caution because it did stick to a little bit of a dry patch right here around my nose at the beginning of this video. But if you have normal skin, I think this would make a gorgeous foundation because it did have a nice natural finish and the wear time is pretty impressive. So it looks like my Pro Matte is still the ride or die forever favorite, and it has yet to be beat. That's gonna be it for this video. Don't forget to subscribe if you haven't already, and thank you guys so much for watching. Let me know if you have any requests down in the comments below, and I will see you guys in my next video. Bye.